express that, and we have family meetings, and we're that kind of family.
Nicole Kidman believes she had found true love when she met Keith Urban. Their relationship blossomed quickly, filled with warmth, shared laughter, and dreams for the future. On the surface, it seemed like a fairy tale, the kind of love that makes people believe in destiny. Nicole, having experienced both the highs and lows of life and love, approached their marriage with care, patience, and hope. She believed in giving her all to build a life together, trusting that with commitment and understanding, they could weather any storm. Their early years together were a blend of joy and discovery, moments where she felt understood and cherished, and where their bond seemed unshakable. Struggles behind closed doors. However, like many marriages, the life Nicole and Keith shared was more complex than anyone could see from the outside. The pressures of fame, the demands of their careers, and the remnants of past challenges began to test their connection. Keith's career as a touring musician demanded long periods apart, leaving Nicole to manage family life and her own professional commitments. The distance introduced tension, moments of uncertainty, and challenges that neither had anticipated. Nicole often felt she was balancing her own dreams with the needs of her family, striving to maintain harmony while wrestling with the emotional weight of separation and responsibility. Love, as she discovered, requires patience, understanding, and resilience, qualities that were tested daily in their household. Early warning signs. By 2013, Nicole noticed subtle cracks in the relationship. Small disagreements began to feel heavier, and trust became more fragile as rumors circulated in the media. Nicole learned to navigate the constant scrutiny that comes with being in the public eye, but the private questions weighed on her heart. Am I truly seen? Am I truly understood? Even in moments of apparent joy, Nicole felt a lingering emptiness. She realized that marriage, like any relationship, requires both partners to actively nurture it, and that sometimes love alone is not enough to heal old wounds or prevent new ones. The realization was quiet but profound, marking a turning point in her understanding of marriage and partnership. Facing infidelity rumors. Over time, Nicole was confronted with the reports in tabloids and social media suggesting that Keith was unfaithful. Whether true or exaggerated, these rumors shook her, making her question the security of their bond. Nicole found herself needing to reconcile her love for Keith with the uncertainty and fear such reports stirred within her. She chose not to react publicly, instead seeking clarity privately, understanding that reacting to every rumor would only deepen her anxiety. In this period, she learned the value of patience, the importance of communication, and the necessity of distinguishing between public perception and private reality. The challenges of dual careers. Both Nicole and Keith were at the peak of their careers, which meant extended absences, travel, and long days on set or on tour. Nicole often juggled parenting, her own work, and the management of household responsibilities. Keith's demanding schedule as a musician required him to travel extensively, which left Nicole to navigate the pressures of daily life and motherhood largely on her own. Their separation during these times tested the resilience of their marriage, highlighting the complexities of loving someone whose professional life pulls them in different directions. Nicole learned to cherish the fleeting moments of connection, recognizing that these times were what sustained their partnership. Balancing career and motherhood, Nicole continued to pursue her acting career with passion, choosing roles that challenged her and allowed her to grow. Projects like Lion and Big Little Lies not only brought her professional fulfillment, but also gave her a platform to tell meaningful stories. She balanced this work with her responsibilities as a mother, understanding that success in her career was intertwined with her ability to provide love and attention to her children. Nicole's journey revealed the complexity of modern motherhood, finding personal fulfillment while remaining emotionally available and supportive for her family. Moments of reflection. Throughout the years, Nicole spent quiet moments reflecting on her choices, the nature of love, and the ways she had given herself fully to her relationships. She acknowledged the mistakes and misjudgments, but also recognized the lessons learned from them. Nicole understood that love is rarely simple or perfect. It is a series of choices, compromises, and acts of courage. She began to redefine what love meant to her, not just romantic passion, but mutual respect, emotional honesty, and shared commitment to growth and understanding. Navigating public scrutiny. Being in the public eye added an additional layer of complexity to Nicole's life. Every event, appearance, or public statement was scrutinized, and every rumor had the potential to affect her family. Nicole learned to navigate the intersection of fame and privacy, seeking to protect her children while maintaining integrity in her professional and personal life. She recognized that while the public may have idealized her marriage, the reality required hard work, resilience, and a steadfast commitment to honesty even when it was painful. Co-parenting with care. Following their separation, Nicole and Keith committed to co-parenting with thoughtfulness and respect. Their daughters remained at the center of their decisions, and both parents prioritized creating a nurturing, supportive environment. Nicole's approach to co-parenting emphasized open communication, empathy, and mutual respect, demonstrating to her children that love can endure even in changed circumstances. The focus shifted from preserving a romantic ideal to fostering family unity, trust, and stability for Sunday and faith, rediscovering joy and purpose. Even in the midst of life's challenges, Nicole discovered the importance of cultivating joy and maintaining purpose. Acting, a lifelong passion, continued to offer her an outlet for expression, creativity, and connection, allowing her to explore new facets of herself through the characters she portrayed and the stories she helped bring to life. At the same time, motherhood provided a grounding force, offering daily moments of wonder, laughter, and tenderness that reminded her of life's simple pleasures. Nicole recognized that happiness and fulfillment were not fixed states but practices to be nurtured through attention, engagement, and intentionality. Each role she took on, each day spent with her children, and each personal decision became an opportunity to reinforce meaning in her life. Through parenting, she discovered an unexpected form of joy, the satisfaction of helping young minds develop their own sense of wonder and morality, guiding them gently while learning alongside them. This interplay between professional passion and personal devotion allowed Nicole to create a life infused with purpose, reminding her that fulfillment is not about escaping challenges but integrating them into a broader narrative of growth, discovery, and engagement. Lessons from love and loss. Nicole's experiences with love and loss became, over time, invaluable sources of insight and emotional intelligence. She came to appreciate that even relationships that did not endure in their original form were rich with lessons in patience, compassion, and self-reflection. Love, she realized, was never simply about permanence, but about understanding, empathy, and shared growth. Through both joyful and painful encounters, Nicole learned to forgive, not just others, but herself, for mistakes, misjudgments, or unmet expectations. She came to understand that the hardships she faced, the heartbreaks she endured, and the moments of disappointment were not failures, but integral components of a journey that shaped her into a more nuanced, resilient, and empathetic person. These experiences allowed her to approach subsequent relationships and parenting with clarity and emotional awareness, recognizing when to nurture, when to step back, and when to advocate for her own well-being. Nicole's reflections on love and loss underscored a central truth. Personal growth often comes through discomfort, and the willingness to engage honestly with life's challenges is what transforms difficulty into wisdom and strength. Redefining success. Through years of experience, Nicole redefined what success meant both professionally and personally. Early in her career, the metrics of validation were often external: critical acclaim, public recognition, or societal approval. Over time, however, she came to understand that authentic fulfillment was measured by much deeper and more meaningful criteria. She evaluated success through the love and care she shared with her children, the integrity she maintained in her professional work, and the choices she made that honored her values and emotional needs. This redefinition did not minimize her ambitions. Rather, it reframed them in a holistic context, emphasizing balance, authenticity, and sustainability. Nicole understood that a life lived according to others' expectations could never bring true satisfaction, whereas a life aligned with personal principles fostered long-term fulfillment. She integrated this philosophy into every dimension of her life, demonstrating that success is not simply a tally of accolades or achievements, but a reflection of one's ability to live in alignment with personal values, nurture meaningful relationships, and embrace one's own humanity. Legacy and family central to Nicole's life and evolving definition of success is her family. Her children, Isabella and Connor from her first marriage, and Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret with her partner Keith, are at the heart of her identity and purpose. Through her experiences, Nicole has embodied resilience, empathy, and courage, modeling these qualities for her children and instilling in them a sense of moral grounding and emotional intelligence. She demonstrates the importance of facing life's challenges with honesty, compassion, and a commitment to personal integrity, teaching that setbacks do not define character, but the response to them does. Her legacy is less about public perception than the lessons she imparts through lived example, that love can evolve, that relationships require effort and understanding, and that life's beauty is interwoven with its inevitable difficulties. By cultivating an environment of respect, curiosity, and support, Nicole ensures that her children witness the value of patience, empathy, and conscious choice, preparing them to navigate their own lives with confidence, compassion, and resilience. A life of reflection and gratitude. At 58, Nicole's perspective is characterized by reflection, gratitude, and a nuanced understanding of life's complexity. She acknowledges the heartbreaks, the misunderstandings, and the trials she has faced, but she also honors the moments of growth, joy, and love that have enriched her path. She recognizes that life's imperfections are not obstacles to happiness, but essential elements of a fully lived human experience. Through self-awareness and contemplation, Nicole has cultivated a capacity to appreciate both the challenges and the triumphs, understanding that each event contributes to a broader tapestry of meaning. She continues to embrace her journey with honesty and acceptance, valuing the lessons learned as much as the achievements earned. Her reflections emphasize that life's richness comes from engagement, presence, and openness to both pleasure and pain, and that a sense of gratitude is best nurtured through the recognition of one's own resilience and the beauty of connection with others. Embracing the future. Nicole's current life is defined by the balance she has worked decades to achieve. She continues to engage in meaningful projects in her career while maintaining a central focus on her children's growth and well-being. Her relationship with Keith, while transformed from marriage to a cooperative partnership, is marked by respect, shared parenting, and mutual support, demonstrating that love can adapt and endure even as circumstances shift. Nicole's life embodies the idea that relationships evolve and that it is possible to preserve dignity, empathy, and understanding through changes that might otherwise be challenging. She actively fosters an environment in which her children feel loved, seen, and empowered, while also carving space for her own passions, creativity, and self-expression. Her journey illustrates that even when the form of love or family shifts, the principles of care, compassion, and integrity remain constant, providing a foundation for a life that is both fulfilling and sustainable. Resilience as a guiding principle. One of the central lessons of Nicole's journey is that resilience is not about enduring suffering alone, but about actively cultivating the capacity to recover, adapt, and grow. She has learned that life is a series of ebbs and flows, and that strength comes not from perfection, but from persistence, self-compassion, and the willingness to confront difficulties with clarity and honesty. By embracing her own limits and acknowledging her needs, she has been able to navigate emotionally complex situations while maintaining her core values. Nicole's story demonstrates that resilience is intertwined with self-awareness and intentional action, showing that the ability to recover from setbacks is enhanced by thoughtful reflection, supportive relationships, and a commitment to living authentically. Finding joy in the everyday beyond milestones and achievements, Nicole has discovered that joy is most consistently found in the everyday moments. The small routines of parenting, the spontaneous laughter shared with friends, the quiet satisfaction of a well-told story, or the pleasure of engaging deeply with creative work, all of these contribute to a sense of purpose and contentment. Nicole has learned to savor these moments, recognizing that sustained happiness is rarely a product of extraordinary events, but rather the accumulation of thoughtful attention to life's ordinary experiences. By cultivating mindfulness and presence, she has been able to transform ordinary routines into opportunities for connection, learning, and growth, demonstrating that joy is not incidental, but a practice of deliberate engagement. Love, empathy, and emotional intelligence. Nicole's life demonstrates the profound impact of empathy and emotional intelligence on personal fulfillment. Through her experiences, she has honed the ability to understand perspectives other than her own, to anticipate the needs of her children and loved ones, and to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. She has learned that relationships thrive not solely on affection, but on the consistent practice of listening, validating, and supporting one another while maintaining personal boundaries. Nicole's approach illustrates that love is not static. It is an ongoing, dynamic process that requires attention, reflection, and mutual respect. This emotional awareness has informed every aspect of her life, from parenting and co-parenting to friendships and professional collaborations, creating a web of connection grounded in understanding and care. Legacy of strength and authenticity. Ultimately, Nicole's legacy is shaped by the values she embodies and the example she sets. Her children witness a model of resilience, honesty, and compassion in action, learning through observation and interaction that personal integrity is as important as achievement. She shows that strength is not the absence of vulnerability, but the courage to face vulnerability with grace and self-respect. Through her life choices, embracing love, navigating separation, fostering growth, and pursuing creative passions, Nicole has demonstrated that authenticity is a form of courage, and that living in alignment with one's principles leaves a lasting imprint on both family and community. Her story reinforces the idea that legacy is cultivated through character, presence, and thoughtful engagement with the world, rather than through accolades or public recognition alone. Embracing change and adaptability. Throughout her journey, Nicole has shown that adaptability is a critical component of a fulfilling life. Change, whether in relationships, family dynamics, or career, has been a constant, and her ability to navigate it with flexibility and poise has been central to her well-being. She has learned that resisting inevitable shifts often leads to unnecessary suffering, while acceptance paired with intentional action creates opportunities for growth and renewal. Nicole's experience illustrates that embracing change does not mean relinquishing values or identity. Rather, it involves finding new ways to express oneself, maintain connection, and cultivate meaning. By approaching life with curiosity and openness, she has been able to transform challenges into opportunities for learning and joy. A vision for the future. Looking ahead, Nicole's life reflects a vision rooted in balance, authenticity, and enduring love. She continues to pursue creative projects that inspire her, nurture her children with care and attention, and cultivate relationships grounded in respect and mutual support. She understands that the future is not something to be controlled or predicted, but something to be engaged with thoughtfully and intentionally. Nicole's perspective demonstrates that by maintaining focus on core values, cultivating resilience, and embracing the richness of human experience, it is possible to build a life that is both deeply satisfying and meaningfully connected. Her story is a reminder that fulfillment comes not from external validation, but from living fully, acting with integrity, and embracing each chapter with openness and grace.